Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Youier podcast. I am your host, Elle Edwards, and we are continuing with the Should Shover Challenge. And today, are you ready for a 1,000-year hack for improving your productivity and mental health? Because that's where we're going today. And I know that's quite some claim. And a trick from history doesn't sound very cutting edge, does it? Cutting edge or not, I think you're going to like this. I could have called it the first things first idea for productivity and improved mental health, but hey, God thought of it first, so it seemed only fair to give credit where credit's due. Do you remember way back in Genesis when God was listing out all the rules and regulations for how things should be done? Usually I gloss over that stuff because lots of it doesn't feel relevant today. But there's a piece in there about bringing God the firstborn animal from the flock, the first part of the harvest, and firstborn children were also mentioned. Not that as the eldest child I'm biased, of course. It was this idea of giving God the first part that I've been pondering on. Do you do that thing where you say hello to him first thing? In the shower is my favourite place. It's the one time in the day when I'm usually left alone. And those days are usually good. Even if things go to pot later on, that little bit of quiet has this seemingly magic ability to improve my sanity levels. But I started to think about how we could use this same idea in other areas of our day-to-day lives. You might have heard the advice to pick one or two important tasks and focus on those. And it's great advice. But how many days do you have where you literally only have one or two things to do? There always seems to be the extra little bits and bobs that, while I wouldn't want to pick them as my one or two tasks thing, still must be done. How about you? What if we picked literally the one single most important thing for the day and always did that first? That first for me varies on a day-to-day basis. But whatever it happens to be, getting it knocked out of the park before noon feels stunning. What would your today look like if you always did the single most important thing first? That one quick win, feel-good, confidence booster action. And there can be firsts in categories, of course, because another of my firsts is saying good morning to each of my children. A kiss on the head for Emily, a hug for Caitlin, a giggly conversation about whichever video game is favourite of the day with Michael. Your plaything for today then is to experiment with this idea of firsts in your own life. Pick one or more if you fancy playing with categories like I did, and do it first every day. And if you feel uncertain, because choosing just one thing can feel tricky, ask Holy Spirit what he thinks. Yes, yet again, I know I'm sounding a bit repetitive, but the point bears repeating. God is interested in everything about you today. You delight him when you talk to him about this stuff. And here's your love note for today. Don't let your mind slip to the things you didn't get to yet. Don't you dare. This is our moment to pause and celebrate. Today is a joy, a gift, and I don't want you to waste a moment of it. Papa, Jesus, and Sam.